Okay, we're on Keilim Perek Bet Mishnah Aleph. We now turn our attention to Keilim, to actual Keilim themselves, to the vessels and their levels of Tumah in Tahara. So in order to understand this Mishnah, we have to go back, we have to read some psukim in the Torah about describing different types of Keilim. So says the Mishnah, says the Torah, Vayikra Perek Yud Aleph. Okay, these are the shatzim, cholid, achbar, tzav, these different animals, you have to go through whatever they are. If they're tameim, they're tamei, they're ritually impure. Let's make it a little bit bigger, right? If you touch them when they're dead, so you have a dead sheretz, you become tamei until the evening. And everything that falls on this dead sheretz, yitma, it should become tamei. Mikol kli etz, any wood vessel, anything made out of wood, beged, or cloth, or sack, or sackcloth, or leather. Kol kli asher yaseh melacha bahem b'mayim yuva v'tamei ha'aretz v'tahara. Anything you do melacha bahem b'mayim yuva, you should bring it into the water, meaning you put it in the mikvah, v'tamei ha'aretz v'tahara, and then you wait until the night. And b'chol kli cheres asher yipol mehem el tocha. I made kli cheres different. You'll see why. The toch, that it falls el tocho, into its toch, into its inside. Kol asher b'tocho yitma v'oto tishboru. Right? Anything inside of it becomes tamei, and you have to tishboru, you have to break. So these are really critical psukim for the laws of tuma and tahara when we come to kelim. So says the Mishnah, clay etz, wooden vessels, wood shoe, a wood cup, clay or leather vessels, clay etzem, bone. So Chazal darshan out, and they learn out the connections between the different materials. Uklei zechuchit, or glass. Now you notice here, it's interesting. Glass is not on the list. I don't know if they have glass, whatever. They certainly have plastic. Glass is not on the list in the Torah, but it is here in the time of the Mishnah. So all of these, pshutehem tehorim. Pshutei kli eitz means if you have a flat vessel, if you have like a cutting board, so you have a wood cutting board, that's a pshutei kli eitz. So therefore it's tahor. But umekablehem, if it can beit kibul, if it can hold something. So and we're not talking about metal here, but let's say you've got has a beit kibul, it can hold something. Okay, umekablehem tameim, but if they can hold something, they're tamei from these materials. Nishberu taharu. If you broke them, if they became broken, then they become Torah. They're just broken. They're not kelim anymore. Chazar ve'asamehem kelim. Then if you use that material to make new kelim, then mikablin tuma mikanu l'haba. You have a new kli, so now they're mikabel tuma. Mikabel tuma means they're susceptible to tuma from then on. If you had a tahor glass kli, we're going to see that it can become tamei midaraita, right? Okay, mikablem tameim midarabana. Excuse me, klei zechuchit. So you have a glass that became tamei, you break it, they put it back in the thing, they make new glass, then it's a new kli, and the tahara, the tumah is gone. Okay, the Bar Tanura says, there's a few important rules that the Bar Tanura adds on here. Here we go. Upshutehem torim, when we said shutim that are tahor, that's hainu midoraita. That's midoraita. Aval chachamim gazlu tuma pshutei kli eitz v'or be'etzem. You have eitz and or be'etzem. They're tamei derabanan. So I made you a chart. Okay, so we have kli eitz or pshutim. We said are tehorim. The Bar Tanura says that's derabaita, but miderabanan they're tamei. We also said if they're klei kibul means they can hold something, not pshutim, not flat. They're makabel tuma. The Bar Tanura continues. Okay, uklei zechuchi. What about glass? The Bar Tanura says something else. Umidoraita nami enam torim ela mitumat meit o tumat sheretz. When we said the pshutei kli eitz, the flat things, that's only tumat meit or tumat sheretz. If a sheretz, like we said, a dead a lizard, dead whatever it is, falls on it, or tumat meit. Aval tameim tumat mishkav u'moshav. But there's a different kind of tuma, so that's why here we're on this chart. We're going to move this one down, so we don't get confused. Tumat meit. So this is tumat and tumat sheretz, but tumat mishkav and moshav. If it's something that you can, let's say you have a leather blanket or something that you can sit on, it's made to sit on. They are mekabel tuma de oraita. So these pshutei kli eitz, pshutei kli etzem, like bone, flat boneware, whatever. They're tahor midoraita, but tamid rabbanan. Tumat mishkav v'moshav, they're tamei d'oraita. If they have a beit kibul, then they are mekabel tuma. That's what the Mishnah says. What about kleis chuchi, glass? Rabbanan gazu elam tuma. The Rabbanan said they have tuma. Okay, why? Ho'ilu tchilat b'yatan min hachol. Since they are initially made from with dirt, with sand in it, they're like kli cheres. So the Bartanura explains the kleis chuchi pshutim are tameim d'Rabbanan. I'm sorry, not tameim. I think they're not makabel tuma. Let me make sure. My mistake. They're tehorim, right? The Bartanura says that pshutei kleis chuchit. Pshuteim shal kleis chuchit tahorot afilu d'Rabbanan. They're tahor afilu d'Rabbanan. So let's go back. They're tahorim. But if they have a klei kibul, then they're tamei only d'Rabbanan, not d'oraita. That's glassware, not earthenware. Okay, clay cheres, earthenware. Uklei neter. Neter is nitrate, some kind of coal. Okay, the Bartanura says neter is tzurif, alomi velaz. I don't know what tzurif is. I don't know what it is. The Kahati says it's nitrum. So I looked up nitrum. You can look it up. Nitrum is a kind of coal they use to make, like charcoal they use for drawing. Anyway, okay. Tumatan, if you know, let me know. Send me an email. Tumatan shaveh. Their tuma is the same. Meaning, mitamin u'mitamin ba'avir. The air of the kli, the actual, meaning if the air, there's three, in a kli, okay, we have a kli, imagine a kli cheres, this is metal, but whatever, you have a kli cheres, you have the outside of the kli, you have the inside, touching the inside, and then you have what's called toch. You have, if you're in the airspace of the kli but not touching. So, says the Mishnah, mit mitamin u'mitamin be'avir. If the kli is, they can become tamei, and they can make something tamei, in the air. This is Chazal learned that from the Pesukim. El Tocho. Remember we learned, we go back to our Pasuk. Here it says, Klicheres ashipol mehem El Tocho. El Toch, into the inside of it. Okay? So, they are Tamei Ba'avir. Let's say this is this is a lizard. The lizard hangs in there. I don't know how you would do it, but he hangs in here. Then, the Kli is Tamei Ba'avir. Umitamin me'achorehen. Ve'ena mitamin migabehen. Achora refers to the bottom part of it. Let's say it had a stand. So I use my rudimentary Microsoft Word ability to draw. Okay, it had let's say this is the kli and it has like a stand. So somehow you could theoretically, let me see if I can grab it. You can theoretically turn it around and you could like pour stuff in it. So it can become tamei if they would actually drink from that. If they would drink from in there, let's go back. If they would use it like the Stanley Cup. I mean, it kind of looks like the Stanley Cup, but the Stanley Cup is actually the cup. But let's say you drank from the bottom of it somehow. Why did you do that? I don't know. It can become tamei. That is a useful part of the kli. So that's what it means, me'achorehen. Okay? But ve'ena mitamin migabehen. But they're not tamei. This is what's fascinating about a kli cheres. Kli cheres is tamei if the sheretz touches, it goes in the airspace, or it touches the inside, or it touches the bottom part. It touches the bottom cuppy thing, right? Like we said. Then it's tamei. But if the bug just touches the outside, migabein, the lumen sukim, but kli cheres is not mitame outside. And how do you make it tahor? Shviratani taratan. The only way to make it tahor is to break it. So I have a chart of kli cheres. Okay. If you kli cheres and neter, if you hung it, talab avir kli tamei. Achore, the outside, lo tamei. Naga betocho, if it touches the inside tamei, right? I'm sorry. If it's talab avir, achore means this part, the bottom part. If it just hung in the achore, no. If it touches the inside, tamei. If it touches the inside of the stem, naga betocho, if it touches the outside of it, not tamei. Whereas the other way around, kli etz or an etzem, if you got a glass thing, right? Whether it touched the inside or the outside, it is tamei. So this is really fascinating. Kli cheres, we're just going to stay on the regular kli cheres. If you touch the inside, tamei. Outside, not tamei. Whereas kli etz, whether you touch the inside or the outside, it is tamei. Long Mishnah. We'll stop here. Dedicate our learning. Remember me, my father, Harav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kaman. You know what neter is? Send me a WhatsApp or an email. Make it a great day.